In 2021, I recorded an entire track using just one synthesizer. Let me show you how I did it. If you're new here, welcome. If you're interested in things like sound design and analog synthesis, stick around. Consider subscribing. So I wanted to share with you this track from my 2021 album, Indoor Recess. Every single line of audio that you see here, minus the vocals, was created using just one synthesizer, and you've probably already guessed what it is. It's the Moog Mother 32. To get started, I used a MIDI controller to input notes into Logic. To output each track of MIDI data into my Mother 32, I'm using this, a USB MIDI hub. And then from the Mother 32, I'm going into the Focusrite Scarlett to record the audio back into Logic. I actually hooked it into my Line 6 DL4 pedal first. This is an analog delay pedal. It can take a mono sound and it can do all sorts of really cool stereo effects with it. And of course it can bypass those effects as well for things like leads and bass. So what I would start with is what looked like this. It looks like MIDI data, just little blips. Then I would send that MIDI data through Mother 32 and then back in as an audio track. So I recorded each line of audio one at a time in order to multi-track and layer all the sounds together. And while the sounds were being recorded, I was able to tweak and change some of the sounds, and it actually helped to give the whole track more of an analog feel. Mother 32 does not have any presets or the capability to save any presets. I actually had to write down the values of all of the knobs, and I wrote them down as time on a clock. It made more sense to me that way. For bass, what I got was a pretty nice tone that could pierce through the mix when I wanted it to, but could also be toned down with the filter. So I actually did 3 tracks for the main drums, the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat, and then I had one more track for things like sound effects and my reverse cymbals. So this is how I did my kick sound. I basically just wanted a tone that as soon as you hit it, it could do a very quick descend. So what I ended up with was a very short attack, very short decay, and I ended up using the VCO mod to mod the pitch to descend very quickly along with the envelope generator here. And it sounded pretty convincing. And the snare and the hi-hat are almost identical sounds. The snares just have longer decay time than the hi-hats do. And both the snare and the hi-hat use the noise circuit cranked all the way up. The reverse cymbal sound actually wasn't recorded in MIDI first, I just did that live. Mostly I just played around with the cutoff knob to bring the sound in and then take the sound away. It was actually really fun to be this hands-on with every note and every track of my song. Normally when I write stuff, I'm just hitting chords all over the place, but to have to play each note of the chord in one at a time, I think at the end of the day, it made for a more precise track. So let me know down in the comments if you've ever recorded an entire track using just one synthesizer. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about sound design on Mother 32, check out this video here. It's the first of a series of Mother 32 tutorials that I have up. I hope you're all having a wonderful and cozy fall. We'll catch you in the next video.